Welcome to Celestial Insights, a weekly podcast that brings the stars down to earth. I'm your host, astrologer, coach, and intuitive Celeste Brooks. My purpose is to provide practical, unique, and insightful guidance to help you navigate the energies of the week like a boss. Hello, this is Celeste of Astrology by Celeste, and on this episode, I will discuss the astrology for the week of October 19th, 2025. I would love your feedback on the podcast. There's a link to a survey in the show notes. If you've already completed it, there is no need to fill out another one. You will be entered into the next drawing for a free reading. I'll announce a winner on November 2nd. I really love hearing what you find most valuable, what you'd like to see more of, and any other feedback you'd like to share. Next, let's take a look back at some astrology in action. Last Monday, we had a last quarter moon in the sign of Cancer where the moon was conjunct Jupiter. We knew it was going to be a big day because Venus moved into her home sign of Libra on the same day, and Pluto in Aquarius stationed direct. And Aquarius rules large groups of people. And the week before, it had been announced that a ceasefire deal was almost done with Israel and Hamas. And the days leading up to Pluto stationing direct, we saw tens of thousands of Gazans going back home after their homeland has been devastated in a plutonic way. Pluto burns things down to the studs in order to be rebuilt. And then on Monday, the ceasefire deal was signed. And we saw hostages who'd been in Gaza released, as well as detainees from Israeli jails in Gaza. The scenes of families coming together and hugging loved ones they hadn't seen in years were so emotional. The Moon-Jupiter conjunction in Cancer, the sign of family. Jupiter expands everything it touches, and Cancer is a water sign. Seeing families embrace each other after they had not seen each other for years, it was this collective, huge swells of emotions, and Pluto is very intense. So it was like this plutonic release. Imagine being someone thinking, I'm going to go home, or my loved one's coming back, and the emotional intensity leading up to that day, and then the release. So we saw the astrology in real life. Think about how all those things happened on that day and the images you saw. And I hope the ceasefire is still holding a week later. The government that fell was Madagascar. Youth protesters have been in the streets since September 25th, protesting their government. And it collapsed the day Pluto stationed direct in October 14th. It was announced that the military had taken control and dissolved most government institutions. This is Pluto in Aquarius. The people rising up against the Leonic figures. Leo and Aquarius oppose each other and taking down these elites that are hoarding resources. My personal Pluto stationing direct experience was I recorded a video about Taylor Swift's scandal with her Showgirl album on YouTube. I accidentally recorded the wrong screen when I was talking. You can go to my YouTube, and I focused on this necklace that some people on the internet are saying it's coded white nationalism. I do not think it is. It's a necklace that has lightning bolts in the chain. You can go watch it on YouTube, but what you're really going to be doing is listening to me describe the astrology related to this story. I'm calling it my Pluto in Aquarius experience because Aquarius rules technology and Pluto is catastrophic failures. I failed to record the right screen. So my apologies for that. But some people really like the video, even though they can't see the charts. Your cosmic advantage begins with the Wise Skies digital calendar. With descriptions for every planetary and lunar event, all levels of astrology enthusiasts can enjoy the calendar on any device and now in many languages. With this superpower in your back pocket, you will be fully equipped to understand the astrological weather any day of the week. My good friend and collaborator, Tiffany Herlick, creates this calendar every year and I use it daily. I highly recommend it. Use my coupon code for $10 off. The code is ABC2025. Let the universe have your back with the Wise Skies digital astrology calendar. The theme of this week is the art of war. There are three big things I want you to think about as you navigate this week. First up, we're going to have a new moon at 28 degrees of Libra on Tuesday. Libra is a sign of art and culture, beauty and relationships, diplomacy, treaties, and fairness. I think there are going to be new things seeded about social order and civility. Think about what's going on in Madagascar. They've got to rebuild their government from the ground up. We're going to be hearing a lot about international law and human rights, especially now if the ceasefire is holding in Gaza. What happens next? We know that there's certain people who want to build a beach resort and move all the people from Gaza out of their homeland. So that fight is coming and it may start during this moon cycle, a 29-day cycle where things are seeded at the new moon. Actions are taken around the first quarter. There's a culmination at the full moon. And then we have the psychological integration where some more actions are taken at the last quarter moon before we start a new moon in a new sign in 29 and a half days. So think about what you want to seed in your life related to Libra topics. What intentions do you want to set? At this new moon, Mercury is conjunct Mars at 20 degrees of Scorpio. So if you have anything around 20 degrees of Scorpio, this could be a really important time for you. Plan of attack to achieve your goals. Really think about how you are taking action. Libra is not the brawler. Notice how people are outwitting their opponents using their intellect. Libra is an air sign rather than brute strength. Its opposite sign, Aries, is a fire sign, which can just lash out. The title of the episode, The Art of War, reflects the Chinese general and philosopher Sun Tzu's strategy. He wrote a timeless manual on strategy, leadership, and the philosophy of conflict over 25 years ago that is still used today. It's timeless wisdom. Although it's about warfare, it's often applied to politics, business, and personal growth. Anywhere where conflict or competition exists. The supreme art of war is to subdue the enemy without fighting. True mastery lies not in destruction, but strategy. So see how the next phases of this come to life in the collective after this new moon. The thing I'm thinking about in my mind right now is how the people of Portland are fighting against the ICE takeover of their city. People are dressing up in these frog costumes, showing the absurdity about what is going on. There was a nude bicycle ride. It is really interesting to watch this strategy because it's been very successful so far. As I'm recording this on Tuesday, October 14th. A big aspect of this new moon, the sun at 28 Libra is squaring Pluto retrograde in Aquarius at 1 degree. You may come to your conscious attention themes about your identity in the collective and some subconscious things you'd rather not recognize about yourself. These shadow energies may be coming to light, and it's here to help you. Do you feel superior or inferior to another group about your intellect, how you look, who you are partnered with? These are some of the themes that you may be recognizing. These things emerge not for you to be hard on yourself, but for you to recognize and have an internal dialogue with yourself. Where did this come from? Is it my family? Is it my early childhood education? Is it what I'm watching or reading? Is social media been distorting your thinking? It's distorting all of our thinking. How can you move more towards win-win solutions when dealing with someone in the public or a different group? How much do you shut your mouth in order to not engage in conflict with friends, groups, or organizations because what you say will be shot down by groupthink? Now, 28 degrees is almost to the end of the sign. The 29th degree is a degree of crisis and decay. So there's going to be themes of things related to Libra topics crumbling coming up to the surface. You may find out someone's telling you, I'm getting divorced. Relationship breakdowns is going to be in the news, whether it's personal, famous people, or countries tearing up treaties. The lunar phase family of this cycle with the new moon, where the sun and the moon are both at 28 degrees of Libras on October 21st, 2025. The first quarter moon, 9 months later, the sun will have moved into Cancer and the moon in Libra on July 21st, 2026. They'll both be at 28 degrees, hitting your chart in the exact same place where the moon will be, but the sun will be in square. There will be tension. So things that you set now, if you have anything around this degree in your natal chart, mark your calendar for next summer and look at your progress, things you intended to advance, as well as any things that have come up related to the house you have in your chart where Libra is. The full moon of this cycle, the sun has moved into Taurus and the moon is in Scorpio on April 20th, 2027. Now, the full moon of this cycle moves from this cardinal phase into fixed energy, where the sun is at 0 Taurus and the moon is at 0 Scorpio on April 20th, 2027, where all is illuminated. So the theme may move from relationships, Libra, to wealth or shared assets, Scorpio. And this can happen when these cycles are at the very end of signs or beginning of signs. They can switch into different signs, but there still may be a story that you can tie together. And the last quarter moon, where the sun is in Capricorn, the moon is in Libra on January 28th, 2028, they're both at 28 degrees again. So this is a really tight moon phase family. So really pay attention if you have anything at the end of cardinal signs or the beginning of fixed signs, because there may be a story in your life. If you are intentionally working on something, these timelines can be really helpful for planning large projects that you'll need a long time to get done. The new moon is a seeding cycle. The first quarter moon, you often have to do a course correction or a change of action. The full moon is where everything is illuminated. And the last quarter moon, the psychological integration. And you start to let things go. And you can do this on the small scale in a month or the large scale in the 27-month cycle. Some things we may be seeing in the collective with Mercury conjunct Mars in Scorpio, there could be art theft, a sex scandal, or corruption stories really coming to light with this new moon. I think there could be more news about the United States just blowing boats out of the Caribbean. Will an international court make some kind of judgment? Colombia has accused the United States of blowing up a boat of their citizens. It's not just Venezuela, who the Trump administration is attacking. Will the battle with Venezuela move from the water to the land? We shall see. The next thing I want to make you aware of is that Neptune will re-enter Pisces from October 22nd to January 26th of next year, finishing up this cycle. So it moves from 0 Aries, a fire sign, into 29 Pisces, a water sign. This is a big energetic shift related to the new moon. There may be some big story related to water, oil, deception. These are Pisces topics. Neptune is at home in Pisces. If you have anything that's leaking in your home, it may become a flood with this energy. So please take care of anything. Get a plumber out there. An artistic masterpiece may be unveiled at this time. A movie could be really surreal. There was a movie called The Shape of Water that won an Oscar several years ago. This makes me feel like this energy. Neptune is a planet of illusions and delusions. It's the fog. It's the mist. Notice what comes to your conscious attention. Whatever house you have Pisces in your chart, Saturn has been there by itself. So have you had struggle getting to those Pisces topics? When Neptune goes back into the sign, it may smooth that. You may see huge swells. This is oceanic energy. And the fire to the water, I got the image of a pipeline explosion. Now, as Neptune moves from fire and water, there could be explosive energy where a pipe could burst. So that's why I'm telling you, make sure if anything is going on, you take care of it. Pisces also could be related to gas, This is a great time to make sure your carbon monoxide detector is working. Check the battery. This can be beautiful energy if you find yourself just feeling really emotional. It's the energy. The last thing I want to make you aware of is that Scorpio season is from October 22nd to November 21st. The sun's movement from Libra to Scorpio is a big shift. It's one of the most dramatic. Moving from Libra, an air sign that wants balance and harmony, that's keeping things on a surface level. Libra can be a little detached and artificial. And then the sun plunges into the water sign of Scorpio, into the depths where the false and the artificial is no longer allowed. We get down to the dirty business, expose the dirty laundry. Scorpio rules power and control. Secrets may come out, especially about corruption. They're brought to our conscious attention for us to deal with them. Debt, taxes, and financial systems are Scorpio topics. The U.S. and around the world, countries, their debt levels are unsustainable. This is a crisis. The United States unpegged the dollar from gold decades ago, and people are just printing money, and it's really a house of cards. Sex taboo and moral scandals can come to light. There may be news about espionage, covert operations, war strategies, and intelligence. Scorpio energy is intense, can be deeply healing. There are 3 archetypes. The phoenix rises from the ashes. The eagle, strategic, flies above, is the ultimate observer and very intentional when it goes after its prey. The scorpion lashes out with poison. It's sniper energy. The sniper will stay quiet, covert, watching its target and then striking at the right moment. There may be some truth-telling and accountability and evolution through the shadows. As soon as the sun enters the sign of Scorpio, it squares Pluto in Aquarius. This is the psychological integration of this cycle, and it's very related to the Trump administration. The sun met Pluto on the day of the inauguration, and we saw all these tech billionaires sitting in front of the members of Congress, showing how they are being pushed up front so that the government can use their technology to have power, Pluto, over the collective Aquarius. On April 23rd, the sun had moved into Taurus and was squaring Pluto. This is the opening square, very similar to the moon cycle. When any 2 planets meet, something is seeded, they start a new cycle, and then as we move through, they move through the squares, oppositions, and come back together. The president had been threatening the head of the Fed with firing him. Taurus rules resources, but he did not. We see some of the limits of his power, cracks in the armor. On July 24th, 2025, the sun in Leo was opposite Pluto in Aquarius. And it was reported that Donald Trump was in the Epstein files. People knew it. It was confirmed. So now the leader's dirty secrets are coming to light. What's going to happen with the sun in Scorpio square Pluto? There could be more talk about sexuality and his behavior, how damaging the debt he's run up is. tech surveillance and what is going on with that, and what executive orders will be signed. So we shall see what's happening. This is the last quarter, the psychological integration. Think about how his popularity has taken a nosedive since the inauguration. Lots of people have lost their jobs. There's more and more talk about the risk of a financial collapse. And with Saturn and Neptune traveling together, it's very concerning. They're going to meet in February, and that could be symbolic of a huge market problem. Scorpio season is our annual time that we investigate the shadows of ourselves, and as well as there's going to be a lot coming up about the collective shadows, about groups. If you are embarking on a new journey, experiencing a major life event, feeling stuck, trying to make a difficult decision, or just looking to make positive changes, astrology can provide life-changing insights. There are several ways to work with me. You can come for a 60 or 90-minute astrology consultation depending on your needs. Engage in longer-term cosmic success coaching where we work together on a 3-month basis to help you overcome blocks, improve your life satisfaction, build better relationships, accomplish your career goals, and understand yourself better using the tool of astrology. Or mystic mentoring if you're an aspiring astrologer and want help with chart analysis techniques. Go to astrologybyceleste.com to check out my offerings. If you have any questions, you can email me at celeste@astrologybyceleste.com. On Sunday, the word of the day is firebrand. Mercury and Scorpio will trine the North Node in Pisces, both at 17 degrees. This feels like a discussion of uncomfortable taboo topics amongst a group of people. The Sun in Libra is quincunx Saturn and Pisces, both at 26 degrees. There could be some kind of operation today that puts a spotlight on deceptive practices. The Moon and Venus meet at 7 Libra, so topics about relationships, and Mercury and Mars meet at 19 Scorpio. I wrote down slam poetry. Someone may be communicating in a very persuasive way about a power struggle Scorpio. Their talk is very fiery. Mars is passionate. In Scorpio, it's persuasive. Yesterday was the No Kings marches. I'm hoping that people stayed safe, that there wasn't covert operations intending to cause violence or upheaval as a tactic. Think about the art of war. If there was, hopefully people recognized what was going on and had a strategy to deal with it to prevent things spiraling out of control. On Monday, the word of the day is boastful. The Libra Moon squares Jupiter in Cancer and opposes Chiron in Aries conjunct Eris, the goddess of chaos. All at 24 degrees. This is cardinal initiating energy. I'm thinking Jupiter in the terms of legal topics, or someone may be boasting about their love partner and how they survived a difficult situation with Chiron and Eris together. There can also be intense conflict that gets a little out of control with Mercury and Mars energy. This could be planning strategies to attack the competition in a marketing meeting where people are trying to outdo each other. The energy could be lighthearted and fun, but there can be a subtext of, oh my God, I can't believe my colleagues are saying something that sounds a little violent, intense, and is exposing their deeper shadows of their personality in a room full of people, and they don't recognize it because they're in their heads. On Tuesday, the word of the day is subtext. The Libra New Moon is at 5:24 a.m. What intentions are you going to set? Make sure you read the fine print. Read between the lines. This moon enters Scorpio at 8:41 a.m. Pacific time. The contract could have something in the corner that is, wait, what is that? What does that mean? The Scorpio moon squares Pluto in Aquarius. Some things may come up in your conscious attention that really brings to light how you feel about technology, a group, an organization, or the collective with Aquarius energy. On Wednesday, the word of the day is images. Neptune retrogrades back into Pisces at 2:50 a.m. Pacific time, moving from 0 Aries to 29 Pisces. This is conjunct a fixed star called Shiat. It's an intense fixed star that, there could be a lot of spill energy. So just be really mindful about water. Be careful in the bathroom. Slow down. You may get really confused. Be careful with drugs and alcohol over the next several days, especially this coming weekend. It takes a while to adjust to the new energy, and like backing into another sign is really intense. A tidal wave of emotion can come on you. We may be seeing images that could be really beautiful and imaginative, but stimulate a little bit of psychological overwhelm. The sun in Libra, which rules art and culture, also leaders is King Kong's Neptune and Pisces, both at 29 degrees. You might find out the head of your company is ill or has to take a leave, or just your boss. The sun is the authority type figures or a celebrity. As I'm recording this, we just found out D'Angelo died as Venus in Libra, this artist. Venus was sextile Uranus in Gemini and Pluto in Aquarius. So there's this like theme of collective mourning as a shocking artist died really young. The sun enters Scorpio at 8:50 p.m. Pacific time, starting Scorpio season. What images do we see as the sun moves from 29 Libra in that adjusting King Kong's energy with Neptune and Pisces and then into Scorpio? You may see a politician in handcuffs as a corruption scandal comes to light. On Thursday, the word of the day is JIU-JITSU. The moon and Mars meet at 21 Scorpio, and then the moon meets Mercury at 23 Scorpio. The Scorpio sun is King Kong's Uranus in Gemini. I get the images of people protesting against a leader. This adjusting aspect makes me think of jiu-jitsu, this martial art where you use the opponent's force against them with holds, locks, and submissions. Someone doing a brute force roundabout could look like a fool by young people protesting in some way. This makes me think about Portland and the people in costumes like frogs and dinosaurs and different kind of cartoon characters showing how this fascist activities are absurd and ridiculous. This is a day Jupiter in Cancer squares Chiron in Aries for the first of 3 times between now and next July. They're both at 24 degrees, and Eris, the goddess of chaos, is conjunct Chiron. So there's this clash between protection of the homeland and using militarized force. Notice what we see around the world. We know what's happening in the United States, but this is intense energy. There's something big going on this day. I hope the Congress people, if the government's not open yet, they're really buckling down, making deals to get the government back open. The moon enters Sagittarius at 9:18 p.m. Pacific time. Sagittarius is mutable fire. This energy can be an uplift where people are feeling more joyful and optimistic. But Sagittarius on the shadows can be unruly, out of control, unlawful. So there could be a lot going on this day with all of these Gen Z protests around the world. On Friday, the word of the day is debt. The Scorpio Sun squares Pluto in Aquarius. Pluto is retrograding. So this is a mutually applying square. So there's extra intensity. They're both at 1 degrees. And the song or the phrase trying to make $1 out of 15 cents came to my mind. Some people are really going to feel the pressure of their debt load. Today, I'm recording this on October 14th, Tuesday. People are using GoFundMe to raise funds for their groceries. This economy is not working for way too many people in the United States, and they're under a lot of pressure. People can feel at a breaking point with this, and there may be a lot of anger coming up. Can you treat yourself lovingly? Give the people around you a little grace, because they may be just feeling a deep psychological pressure, weight, and depression about what is going on for them. And things may be flying up to the surface. Mercury in Scorpio is King Kunks Chiron and Eris. So there's a lot of this adjusting energy. Someone may the amount of their credit is being reduced. And Mercury is trine Jupiter in Cancer, both at 24 degrees. This could be somebody putting out a GoFundMe about something. Asking, Mercury in Scorpio, asking despite any kind of embarrassment for some charity to help them. On Saturday, the word of the day is limitations. The Sagittarius Moon squares the lunar nodes. The South Node is in Virgo and the North Node is in Pisces at 17 degrees. Can you avoid being too critical with the South Node in Virgo and be more compassionate to yourself and others if possible? But these squares to the nodes, people are often up against choice points where which direction do I turn? Tune into your intuition if you're in an experience like this. We have a waxing crescent moon at 17 Sagittarius. You may start to see the light about this moon cycle for you. The new moon was in Libra, and now the waxing crescent moon is in Sagittarius. Sagittarius is a sign that desires freedom. It's optimistic. It's joyful. How can you bring more of that energy into your relationship? Maybe you're thinking about going on a trip somewhere. Mercury in Scorpio is trine Saturn and Pisces, both at 26 degrees of the respective signs. Saturn, somebody may be articulating limitations about something. Could be limiting water, limiting oil. These are Pisces themes. Limiting drugs and alcohol. Maybe you decide, oh my goodness, I'm eating too much candy. I'm going to stop it and put some limits on yourself. Saturn rules discipline. This can be a great time to really enforce some things for yourself. This can be someone telling you they're depressed or you recognizing that you're depressed. Consider, with the moon in Sagittarius, getting up and moving your body. Physical movement is one of the best ways to lift our energy. So that's it for this week's episode. Feel free to email me at celeste@astrologybyceleste.com. Please fill out the survey. I welcome your feedback. Let me know how the daily themes are playing out for you. Take care, and I'll catch you next week. Thank you for listening to Celestial Insights. To learn more about my work, please visit my website, astrologybyceleste.com, where I offer personal readings, horary consultations, cosmic coaching, group events, and classes to help guide people to higher levels of fulfillment. You can also find me on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, and Facebook at Astrology by Celeste. If you enjoyed Celestial Insights, please help others find the show. Follow, rate it 5 stars, or write a nice review. I would so appreciate it. I'm astrologer, coach, and intuitive Celeste Brooks, and I'll be back next week.